In what could be aptly described as a dress rehearsal for the yearly traditional long drawn-out marathon celebration that usually ushers in Christmas in Calabar, the city was the main center of attraction for 3 days as it played host to a wide section of people from different walks of life from within and outside the shores of the country. One and all, they had all decided to pay their final homage to the late OBONG of Calabar, His Royal Majesty, Eminence Professor Nta Elijah Henshaw VI, Grand Patriarch of the Ever Kingdom, who joined his ancestors earlier in February this year. In every respect, the life of the late monarch, a first-class natural ruler and the Grand Patriarch of the Ever Kingdom, is one of rare accomplishments in the field of dentistry, which took him to hospitals in the United Kingdom and other parts of the world. The late OBONG, who was a detribalized person, was celebrated internationally as a renowned dental surgeon par excellence. The late OBONG, who was once a commissioner in Cross River State, worked assiduously since ascending the throne of his forefathers for the development of his people, whom he treated with a lot of warmth and respect. One of the legacies the late OBONG of Calabar, His Royal Majesty Edidem Professor Nta Elijah Henshaw VI, bequeathed to his people is his relentless fight against unwholesome ancient practices and his closeness to his creator throughout his reign as the monarch of Calabar. These legacies will continue to inspire generations of his people in the Ever Kingdom to continuously strive to move the Ever Kingdom to greater heights. Against the background of the late OBONG's exemplary life, characterized by his positive contributions to the Ever Kingdom and humanity at large, his final rites of passage was a big celebration. The program, tagged Celebration of Life, began with a special Thanksgiving memorial service which was held at the Cultural Center, Calabar. Attended by Vice President Goodluck Jonathan, his wife and other dignitaries, the rites were marked by the rendition of soul-lifting songs and special prayers for the family.
Living a life of purpose. The plan of God for everyone created by Him is to live a life of fulfillment. And there can be no fulfillment except there's a purpose for living. Purpose for every man's life is divine. It is only God that can give you a reason to live, a purpose to achieve in life. Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 4 to 5 talks about the life of a man called Jeremiah. And God said concerning Jeremiah, said to Jeremiah, Jeremiah, I have known you, I have called you. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I have raised you up to be a prophet to my people. God gave Jeremiah a purpose even before he was conceived and before he was born. I thank God especially for the life lived by OBONG Calabar. Edidem Professor Nta Elijah Henshaw was a man that loved God, a man that served the Lord and served his people. He lived a life of purpose and he made his impact felt to the people.
Various state governments, all corporate bodies, our friends, our choir, lovely voices, Asuko Kobong, who, despite his busy schedule, decided to grace this occasion. We thank God for all of you who came, because if you didn't come, this would not have been worthwhile. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring us. The Lord will honor you. The Lord will bless you. As you have celebrated with us, we shall celebrate with you. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray.
Saturday, the 11th of October 2008, the day of the grand finale of the rites of passage of the late OBONG of Calabar, was indeed a glorious one for the family of the highly loved monarch, as demonstrated by the huge and impressive attendance of dignitaries that graced the event, which took place at the UJ Eswene Stadium, Calabar. The bright sunshine that shone throughout the event helped to further accentuate the beauty of the venue, which had been decorated in colors that only befit royalty. Those familiar with the culture and tradition of the Efik people, especially as it concerns burial of people, will agree that it is usually a grand spectacle, and that was exactly what was replicated on that occasion. The procession of the children, in-laws, other members of the royal household and their friends, which went through the major streets of Calabar before a final stop at the venue, was an emphatic statement in color, grandeur, elegance, panache, style, and class. And for the desired effect, members of the procession took their time to relish the attention paid to them by the entire stadium.
Vira for now, Ovazio. But also that over Vio. And I do one tail on over. Say people, say you know, say Wune. Say, baby, Domine. United we stand, divided we fall. When I went to they say that bueno, me, I was a that bueno.
Let us worship God as we sing from the Revised Church Hymnary. Let us all stand.
The memorial and Thanksgiving service in honor of the late OBONG of Calabar featured soul-lifting music and prayers for the repose of the soul of the OBONG and his family members. There were also Bible lessons read by the eldest son of the late OBONG and the wife of the late OBONG. Following that was a special tribute to the late monarch by the Executive Governor of Cross River State, Senator Leal Imoke, and Vice President Goodluck Jonathan.
When I received the sad news of the passing away of the beloved father, the Royal Majesty, Professor Luther Abaika Inshu, the sixth, of Calabar and Peter. Therefore, there's no doubt that in his demise, we have a great loss. Not only to the African kingdom, but of course, Cross River State, but indeed to our entire nation. We all share in your grief. Nevertheless, we shall all take consolation in the many fine legacies he has anchored for the sands of time. We would like as a family to continue to draw inspiration from those legacies for your own fulfillment. Again, on behalf of the government of Cross River State, the people of Cross River State, my family, I urge you to accept this inevitable event as we celebrate today the life of the great son of Nigeria. May the good Lord, in his infinite mercy, continue to grant the soul of Edidem Abaika Nation VI a place in his eternal kingdom. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
The late monarch, today's royal barrier, by ruling the ethnic people with the fear of gods and taking away from ancient traditions that are not in line with the teaching of the scriptures. Those statements really elevated my spirits, and I very fulfilled that we had a man who did his work very well on earth. The late OBONG of Calabar is somebody that most people here know so much about. And you cannot give account of all these conclusions of us. So we are here to encourage the family. We are not here to mourn our late monarch because he has achieved what any noble man would want to achieve. if only 25% of the human population, 25% is really too high. If only 5% of the human population can achieve 50% of what his late royal father has done, then Nigeria, Africa, and the world will be a better place today. We only use this opportunity to call on all of us to emulate the good work of such people.
In his sermon, the officiating minister paid tribute to the sterling and exemplary qualities of the late Obong, especially his great investment in the development of his children, which has propelled many of them to occupy the commanding heights of their various endeavors today. The clergyman hoped that worthy sons and daughters of Efik Kingdom will build on the enviable legacies left by the Obong to effect a lasting change in the scheme of things. The service featured a lot of singing and dancing by the children of the late Obong, other family members and friends, as music was supplied by the choir. Special prayers were later offered for the family of the late Obong. At the reception that followed later, more dignitaries showed up. Headlining the list was the wife of the Vice President, Dame Patience Jonathan, who was accompanied by wives of the governors of Bayelsa, Cross River, and River States, as well as wives of members of the National Assembly and other dignitaries. Governor Chibuike Rotimi Amechi of River State was also in attendance. Notable personalities from Bayelsa State, as well as Lagos and Rivers axes, were there to support Chief Ebitomi Banigo, a proud in-law of the late Obong of Calabar. That aspect of the ceremony was long on side attraction, which featured performances by different artists, including traditional dance troupes from Edo, Rivers, and Cross River states. Timaya also registered his presence in a big way. As the whole country joins the Efik people, both at home and in the diaspora, to celebrate the highly accomplished and fulfilled life of their grand patriarch, it will remain a source of everlasting pride and inspiration each time one remembers that the late Obong of Calabar was one of the most educated, most cultured, and most traveled monarchs to have come out of Nigeria. It is with pride that one remembers that the late Obong was a fellow of dental surgery of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons, Glasgow, fellow in dental surgery of the National Postgraduate College of Nigeria, and fellow of the West African College of Surgeons, with a doctorate degree in dental surgery from Brazil. He worked as a surgeon in various hospitals in the United Kingdom. The late Obong had a thriving dental practice in Luton and Hampstead before he returned to Nigeria in 1961. His Royal Eminence Edidem Professor Henshaw VI was honored with many professional awards and was recognized in the International Biographical Center Cambridge Who is Who in Medicine in 1986 and also in the 6th edition of the Who is Who in the World published by Maggie Who is Who Incorporated. His Eminence had over 21 medical publications and 4 researches to his credit. He was a devout Christian and a member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. In 1984, His Eminence was made the Royal Peace Ambassador for South-South and Ambassador for Peace by the International Federation of World Peace in 2005. May Almighty God grant His Eminence Edidem Professor Nta Elijah Henshaw VI eternal rest in his bosom. In these special interviews, some people paid their last respects to the monarch of all time, while others looked at the great way the efforts bid farewell to the departed ones in comparison to what obtains in their own cultures.
And we thank God for his life well spent when he was alive. He lived as a good man, a God-fearing man, honest, patient, a man you can think of. May God give them the hearts to bear the loss, and may God protect the family.
It's a big loss. The gap is massive, can hardly be filled. So that means that it's a challenge for them, the children and the grandchildren, to strive towards attaining the mark that the late Obong left behind. I know that the great qualities that the late Obong had definitely been transfused into his children. They are great people, and I'm very pleased for them. They've done well.
This event that you see today, I must give a very big congratulations to the late Obong's family and the Etubong's Council to have put all of this together. It is, as you have seen, very rich, very colorful, very well attended right across the country. And I am proud today to say that I am an Efik son.
Well, this is a very, very big event in the Efik Kingdom, and we are very conscious of this. The last Obong was like a father to everyone, and considering all his position generally in the society, an academician, a traditional ruler, a businessman, and everything, we believe we have lost a great man.
The way the man has lived his life should be an example to every individual, whether royal or non-royal, because when we all live, and eventually we're all going to live, we need to create an impact to the extent that people will notice our difference, and people will know that we did pass this path in life, and that's what His Royal Majesty did, and that's why we're celebrating his life.
Usually in most societies in Nigeria, we celebrate the life of a good man. And this man was not only a king, he was a great man too.
The passage of a monarchy is a very significant thing, and there's an outpouring of love, an outpouring of recognition, an outpouring of jubilation, that somebody who has done so much for the town, it's not necessarily an occasion to mourn, because invariably royal fathers, their passage is at a very, late age. And so these things are celebrated, not mourned. I found this one very colorful, and it is the same thing. It's the same, really, with cultures all over Nigeria.
Today what we are seeing is culture and tradition being mixed. But the most important thing is that, an interesting aspect of it is that here
is the translation of a monarch. We don't describe them as haven't died. They translate, haven't spent and fulfilled their years on earth. And the family members should stay together. You know, they have a united front to immortalize the name of their father. They've spent a lot of money today to be able to observe and celebrate a life well spent.
Great man. Great man. You don't find them regularly like that. They come once in a while. And he has come, he has done his own part, he's gone. And that's why we're celebrating him today. And we're enjoying. Children, keep the peace, keep the family intact. If you don't want the old man to turn in his grave, keep the family intact. That's my message.
The hallmark of a great man is really his simplicity. Today, I'm glad that we've had the opportunity to celebrate him and to share his life with the rest of Nigeria. And Nigeria responded with the presences of the best, the cream of the crop from all over the country. My message to my fellow Nigerians is that, yes, times will be hard, but the important thing is to be able to overcome one at a time and celebrate life as we move on, because of the grace of the Lord Almighty.